PlayStation 3 HEN version 4.91 is here. I'll show you everything that it takes step by step to get PS3 HEN up and running on any model of PlayStation 3 system. Fire up your PlayStation 3 and your PC because you're about to level up your setup. Everything you need to download is in this single all-in-one file. I have it hosted on my website and linked for you in the video description. On this page, you'll find the video that you're watching right now. You'll find some recommendations for USB drives because you're going to need a USB-A drive for this process to work, some basic instructions, and the download link. Navigate over to the green download button and click on it to download the single all-in-one zip file to your computer. Let's get the contents of the all-in-one file unpacked. Open up a new instance of File Explorer and navigate to your Downloads folder. You'll find this zip file that you just downloaded. Right-click on the zip file and select Extract All. You can extract it to its default location by clicking Extract in the bottom right corner. Once you're done, you don't need the zip file any longer. Right-click on it and delete it to send it to the recycle bin. And remember, anything that you send to the recycle bin is still archived there for you, just in case you need it. Now that you have the zip file uncompressed, double-click on the newly created folder. You'll find two items in here. The first one is GUI format. This is used for formatting volumes larger than 32 gigabytes in size in Windows, as Windows can't do this natively. The other one is a PS3 folder that contains hybrid firmware for your PlayStation 3. Let's get your USB drive formatted in FAT32 format. I'm going to start by dragging and dropping this window over to the left side of the screen to snap it into place. Insert your USB-A drive into an open USB port on your computer. Once your USB drive is recognized by your computer, you should see a pop-up window. Just to make things a little easier to follow, I'm going to grab this window and drag and drop it over to the right side of the screen. You'll need to verify what drive letter is assigned to the USB drive you just plugged in. In this case, it's drive letter F and it's named subscribe, so you don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But you need to verify the USB drive letter assigned to your own drive. Once you've verified your drive letter, you can close out that instance of File Explorer. Now that you know what drive letter is assigned to your USB drive, you can format it with GUI format. Double-click on it, and at the UAC prompt, click Yes. Important note here, before you attempt to format your drive, make sure you close out any open instances of File Explorer. Otherwise, GUI format will not be able to access your USB drive, and you'll get an error message. Take a look in the top left corner of GUI format. You'll see a drop down here for selecting your drive letter. In this instance, GUI format defaulted to the correct drive letter for my USB drive. However, it might not default to the correct drive letter for your own USB drive. Be sure to verify this, and if it's the wrong drive letter, click the drop down to select the correct drive letter. Otherwise, you might format a drive you don't want to format, like your Windows drive. Once you've verified that you have the correct drive letter selected, come down to Start near the bottom right corner and click on it. Then at the confirmation pop-up window that appears, click on OK to format your USB drive in FAT32 format. Once the process is complete, you're done with GUI format. Come down to Close in the bottom right corner of the window and click on it to close out the software. Next up, you'll need to reopen the File Explorer window for downloads. To do this, right-click on File Explorer and pick Downloads. Just like I did before, I'm going to drag and drop this window over to the left side of the screen and snap it into place. Back in the Downloads folder, you'll see that all-in-one folder that you uncompressed. Go back to that folder and double-click into it. You can either choose to keep GUI format or delete it at this point. I already have the program backed up elsewhere on my computer, so in this case I'll just right-click on it and delete it to send it to the recycle bin. That's going to leave you with a folder that just says PS3. It already has the correct subfolder structure and hybrid firmware file in it that you need to copy over to your USB drive. Open a new instance of File Explorer and go to this PC. I'm going to take this window and drag and drop it over to the right side of the screen and snap it into place. Now it's an easy matter to find your USB drive. Just locate the letter of the drive, in this case drive F called subscribe, and double-click on it to access the root of the drive. Now you can go back over to the Downloads folder and drag and drop the PS3 folder directly onto the root of your USB storage. That's everything you have to do with your PC. You can transition over to your PlayStation 3 for the remainder of the guide. Remove the USB drive from your computer. Then insert the drive into the rightmost USB port on your PS3. Power on your PS3. In this case, I'm using a super slim PS3 for this demonstration. From the cross media bar, use the D-pad to scroll over to Settings and then select System Update with the X button, or interchangeably the circle button for systems outside of North America. You'll be asked to select a method for updating your system. In this case, you want to use the USB drive. Use the D-pad to scroll down to Update via Storage Media and select it with the X button. You'll see a pop-up message indicating that you're about to install the same version of software you already have. Actually, you're not. You're getting ready to install hybrid firmware, which is better. To proceed with the installation, use the D-pad to slide the highlight over from No to Yes and select it with the X button. From here, hybrid firmware is installed exactly like official system software. Your PS3 will prep the system for the installation, restart itself, and then finalize the install. The next part of the installation process requires the use of the web browser. Once you're back at the cross-media bar for your system, we'll need to do some basic tasks to the web browser to clean things up and get it ready for the next part of the process. Use the D-pad to slide over to the Network tab on the cross-media bar. Locate Internet Browser and launch it with the X button. You don't have to go to any web pages at this point, there's just some maintenance we need to do first. There's a side cart menu that you can pop out by pressing the triangle button. When the side cart menu appears, use the D-pad to press up several times until you get to the listing that says Tools. Once you're on Tools, press the X button. You'll see a sub-menu appear with a variety of options you can choose. The first one we're going to do is set the home page on the web browser to a blank page. That way when you load the web browser, it doesn't try to go to PlayStation or some other unnecessary website for this process. Use the D-pad to move the highlight down to home page and press the X button. From here, you'll see a flashing highlight bar. Scroll down with the D-pad to the listing that says Use Blank Page and press the X button. Once you've confirmed this change, scroll down with the D-pad to OK and select OK with the X button to lock in the change. Next up, press the triangle button to open the side cart menu again. Just like before, use the D-pad to go back up to Tools and press the X button. In the sub-menus that appear, use the D-pad to scroll the highlight down to the listing that says Confirm Browser Close and press the X button. You'll see a pop-up appear on the right side of the screen and it's set to On by default. Scroll down with the D-pad to Off and press the X button to lock in this change. Next up, we've got some deleting to do, and it's all in that Tools menu. Press Triangle, go up to Tools, and press X. The first thing you want to delete are cookies. Scroll down with the D-pad to the listing that says Delete Cookies and press the X button. At the confirmation pop-up that appears, use the D-pad to slide over from No to Yes and press the X button. Press the triangle button again, go up to Tools, and press X. This time, scroll down to the listing that says Delete Search History and press the X button. Once again, at the confirmation pop-up that appears, slide over to the left to Yes and press the X button. For the third time, press the triangle button, navigate up to Tools, and press X. Scroll down to the listing that says Delete Cache and press the X button. Just like with the others, at the confirmation message that appears, use the D-pad to press to the left to go from No to Yes, and press X to select Yes. Okay, for the fourth and final time, press the triangle button. Scroll up to Tools and press X. This time, scroll down to the listing that says Delete Authentication Information and select it with the X button. And just like with the other times, use the D-pad to slide over to Yes and press the X button. Once you've completed all of these steps, press the circle button to exit the internet browser and go back to the cross-media bar. Now your browser is squeaky clean. To start the HEN installation process, go right back into the internet browser by selecting it with X. From here, you'll need to enter a website address. To do that, press the Start button on the controller. This will pop out the virtual keyboard on screen. Press the square button until you clear out the blank message inside the web address bar. Then enter the following address: PS3HEN PS3exploit.me. Note that there is no E in the word exploit, it's just PS3exploit.me. Once you have this address entered, press the Start button on the controller twice to load the web page. It makes sense to bookmark this page because you'll probably be going back to it again in the future. To do that, press the Select button on your controller. You'll be asked to add a bookmark. Just select Add a Bookmark with the X button. The bookmark will automatically be labeled for you. Press the X button on the controller to create the bookmark. I learned a while ago the importance of putting your money where your values are. I value the mod scene and the community we have around it. I've donated to the PS3 exploit site on my computer, and I hope that you'll consider doing the same to support their efforts. The team there gives us so much and asks for so little of us in return. From the main menu of PS3 exploit, navigate up to the top ribbon where it says PS3HEN and hover over it with the pointer. You'll see a series of drop-down choices here. The very first listing on here is called the HEN Auto Installer. Navigate down to it with the pointer and select it with the X button to launch it. The website will automatically provide you with a necessary helper file. This is an expected process and is completely normal. Once you see the message that says that the download is complete, press the circle button to go back to the HEN Auto Installer. Have a look right here in the center of the browser window. The cursor should have automatically been positioned on the button that says Auto Install HEN. Press the X button on the controller to start the installation process. You'll see a new message appear underneath the button with a percentage indicating the status of the installation. While it's running here, an important note: if it fails the installation, refresh the web page and try it again. You may have to run it more than once for the installation to take on your specific PlayStation 3. You should see a new pop-up screen telling you that JavaScript wants to close this web browser. You do, so scroll over from No to Yes with the D-pad and select Yes with the X button to close the auto installer. Once you're back at the PS3exploit.me page, press the circle button to close the web browser. You'll be taken back to the cross-media bar where two files will be installed. The installation processes will be automatic. All you have to do is let the first file automatically install on your PlayStation 3. Once that process is complete, press the circle button and the second file will automatically install itself. You'll hear a confirmation tone and see a message on screen once the installation processes are complete. Press the circle button and your PS3 will automatically restart. Once your PlayStation 3 has restarted, it should come back up to the cross-media bar and on the Game tab. You'll be at a message that says Enable HEN. To launch HEN for the first time, press the X button on your controller. You'll see a short white flash on screen, and then you'll see the HEN logo appear near the middle of the screen. Once HEN's been loaded, you'll see a confirmation message appear near the top right corner of the screen. You should also see that you now have access to the package manager directly underneath the Enable HEN message. That means you can install homebrew package files on your PlayStation 3. Okay, I want to point out something just in case you run into this. With the 4.90 version of HEN, if you had Webman installed, it could literally get you caught in an endless loop where you couldn't get rid of Webman and couldn't launch HEN. In other words, McClunky. But there is a fix for this. Using that same FAT32 formatted USB drive you previously used, right-click on the root of the drive, pick New, and Text Document. Name that new text document boot_plugins and press the Enter key. Remove the USB drive from your computer and put it back in the rightmost USB port on your PS3. Go ahead and enable HEN now. This will bypass any plugins that you have running, including plugins from Webman, and allow you to launch HEN. Then you can update your installation of Webman to the most recent version through the package manager. Now that you've got HEN up and running on your system, learn how to play backups of your PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 1 games on it. Learn how to install Iris Man on your newly HEN-enabled PlayStation 3 with this video shown on screen and linked in the description and pinned comment. I'll be waiting for you there.